Right, indeed. Food prices have been soaring even higher in recent days, especially amid Russia's war in Ukraine and the resulting repercussions on international order and security. For more, I have Professor MATIN QAIM at the University of Bonn over in Germany live on the line. Professor QAIM, it's a pleasure to have you with us.
I'm pleased to be here.
Right. Now, Professor, before we delve into our talk, let's first take a moment to listen to remarks by the head of the European Commission and the Russian president himself with regard to soaring food prices. Do take a listen.
Today, Russia's artillery is bombarding grain warehouses in Ukraine, deliberately. And Russian warships in the Black Sea are blockading Ukrainian ships full of wheat and sunflower seeds. The consequences of these shameful acts are there for everyone to see. Global wheat prices are skyrocketing, and it's the fragile countries and vulnerable populations that suffer the most. Bread prices in Lebanon have increased by 70%, and food shipments from Odesa could not reach Somalia. And on top of this, Russia is now hoarding its own food exports as a form of blackmail, holding back supplies to increase global prices or trading wheat in exchange for political support. This is using hunger and grain to wield power.
Russia, while ensuring its internal food security, its interior market, is ready to significantly increase its export of food and fertilizers. For example, we are ready to increase supplies of grain to up to 50 million tons. We will prioritize supplies to countries in the direst need of food and where there is the risk of an increase in the number of those starving, namely Africa and Middle East countries. Regarding, and I cannot ignore this topic as there's lots of speculations about it, the Ukrainian food supply, we're not disrupting it, for God's sake.
Right. Now, that was Mr. Putin this past Friday, Professor, speaking at the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum, where he denied Russia's role in pushing up global food prices. Those remarks, of course, follow earlier accusations by Ursula von der Leyen, the head of the European Commission, during a speech at the World Economic Forum, late May that was, during which she claimed Putin was using hunger and grain to wield power. Now, that being said, Professor QAIM, pundits claim that global food prices were hitting record levels even before Russia invaded Ukraine. Do you agree? And if so, how do you explain that?
It's true. I mean, even before Russia attacked Ukraine, food prices were at record highs. If you look at the last 2 years, wheat is usually taken as the commodity that's indicating food prices. Wheat prices in January were about 50% higher than 2 years earlier. But then with the Russian attack starting on 24 February this year, prices for wheat internationally increased by another 50%. So they're now around 100% higher than they were 2 years ago. And when you're asking, okay, what are the reasons? I mean, the price increase since February is obviously due to Russia blocking Ukrainian exports. The port of Odesa is blocked by Russian warships and nothing goes out there. And those commodities, wheat, but also oilseeds, are now missing. They're lacking at international markets, driving prices up. Before that, the price increases over the last 2 years, obviously there were other reasons that are still relevant today. There was the COVID-19 pandemic, which isn't over yet. There was, skyrocketing energy prices, which are still ongoing. And there were issues with climate-related harvest failures in some parts of the world. That means, you have disruptions. And unfortunately, with climate change, such types of disruptions and harvest failures are likely to further increase in the future.
Right. Then, Professor QAIM, simply speaking, then, Russia's war in Ukraine has been aggravating an already existing global challenge in terms of food prices. Now, that being said, then, how severe is the current situation? I mean, EU officials claim the consequences of blocked food exports from Ukraine can devastate millions worldwide. Do you share this outlook?
I definitely share this outlook. I mean, President Putin is using food as a weapon internationally, and I would even go one step further than what EU officials say, because it's always saying there is a looming food crisis in parts of Africa and the Middle East. And I would say, well, we are already in the middle of a food crisis. Just imagine a poor family that even before those price increases was hardly able to afford a healthy diet. Because they always already spend, almost all of their income on food. What is this family going to do when food prices are doubling? I mean, obviously, they have to reduce food consumption. And that's not only grain, it's also the vegetables, it's also the livestock products, it's the fruits. And that means obviously more hunger and more undernutrition. And we need not only to talk, we need to act. I mean, there are things that could be done in the short run. Apart from obviously putting pressure on Putin and helping the Ukraine in terms of maintaining agriculture production and resuming exports, but we need to increase international food aid support for the poorest people and the poorest countries. We need to reduce the use of grain for non-food uses. I mean, a lot is put into biofuels, a lot is put into livestock feed, and we really need to prioritize now and see that we're avoiding a worst famine that may happen later this year.
Right. Professor Qaim, does this bleak reality perhaps look to affect supermarket shelves over in Europe, do you think?
Well, I mean, Europe is a relatively rich region, and we're not really seeing empty shelves here for lack of availability of food. Obviously, prices also in Europe have increased dramatically, and that makes life more difficult for the poorer population segment, no question. But in Europe, we have relatively well-established social policy systems. So that means the harshest social hardships are cushioned by social policies. And that's obviously something that we don't have in poor countries. And food is still available, even internationally. It's not that there's an acute scarcity. It's all a matter of price. But Europe can import, whereas the poorer countries can't when prices go so up. And whenever we see international prices going up, then not only the poorest countries, but also the poorest people within these countries are those who are hit hardest. And that's really something we need to have on the radar, and we need to act internationally to prevent a famine.
Right, and staying with the idea of acting, Professor Qaim, it has been said that food systems are critical components of disaster preparedness and resilience planning. How should countries in Europe and also here in South Korea, for its part that is, look to strengthen food security, do you think?
I mean, in richer countries, including South Korea and also most of Europe, I'm not concerned about food security within those countries and regions. But obviously, we're living on a small planet, and that means also regions such as Europe obviously have to do their contribution to international food supplies. And in Europe, not now in the crisis situation, but in general in Europe over the last few years, we have observed a tendency that, well, we don't need to produce much anymore. Let's take out chemical inputs from farming. Let's move organic. And that's something that I consider problematic and short-sighted, because our planet is small, and we're in Europe sitting on fertile land. We have a lot of water, and if we are not producing productively, also developing and using new technologies, then obviously we are not acting internationally responsibly. The other thing that I'm now observing is that many countries and observers say, okay, dependency on Ukraine and Russia is creating problems, so let's try to be self-sufficient. And that's an issue. I mean, many countries in the world aren't able to really self-sufficiently produce their own food because they're lacking fertile land and water. We need to increase agriculture production in regions like Africa, but that doesn't mean that we need to stop trade. Trade is really, really needed. First of all, because some countries can't produce enough food and they have large populations. And secondly, Wars are not the only risk. We have climate change, and just imagine a country where a drought or a flood happens, and in that country, there's no trade. I mean, obviously, that'll immediately lead to a hunger catastrophe. So we need trade in order to get food from surplus regions to deficit regions efficiently.
Right, of course. Beyond food, Professor QAIM, how does the surging cost of fertilizer look to affect us, broadly speaking?
That's another concern. I mean, obviously, fertilizer is an important input in farming, and fertilizer prices have gone up even more than grain prices. I mean, we are seeing 3 to 4 times higher fertilizer prices than we had about 2 years ago. And that means farmers are reducing the use of fertilizer, and that means lower yields, and that means lower supply and increasing prices further. And that's a problem that's not going to go away quickly. The reason that fertilizer prices are so high is that their production is very energy intensive. And it's the energy prices primarily that are driving fertilizer prices, plus the fact that Russia and its ally Belarus are among the largest fertilizer exporters in the world. And those exports are not in the current situation happening as usual.
Professor QAIM, beyond all this, what more perhaps could you tell us about rising consumer prices in Europe? I mean, inflation is a big concern here in South Korea, in the US and elsewhere. What is it like there in Europe?
No, it's a big concern here in Europe as well, and the primary concern is really energy, gas and oil in Europe and in Germany in particular. We are very dependent on Russian gas and oil. We're now trying to quickly get independent, but just in the last few days, the gas supplies by Russia have been decreased by about 60%. And that means gas prices are skyrocketing, oil prices are extremely high, and that has knock-on effect. I mean, we see it on food prices, we see it on other prices that are energy intensive. Yes, I mean, inflation is a big concern and is not likely to go away within the next 2-3 years. So we're living in a situation with super high inflation.
Right. And regarding efforts, perhaps, Professor QAIM, to rein in inflation, in the long term, would you say it's perhaps wiser, and that's because I lack a better word for that, would it be wiser to risk a recession over inflation, do you think?
You know, in the end, we have a perfect storm of different crises happening. And I believe that we have inflation and we may also see some level of recession. We need to see politically with the right measures that it's not getting too bad. The problem with inflation is we also always need to understand where the inflation is coming from, how it's driven. And one of the main factors at this point is really rising gas and oil prices. And these are also important signals. So I wouldn't necessarily say we need to get the energy prices, gas and oil, to levels of last year. We don't, because the high prices in the end are signals to consumers to save gas and oil. There's signals to companies to save gas and oil. There's signals to innovation and researchers to innovate, develop technologies that can help us to get towards renewable energies. So I think price signals are important also to get to more long-term sustainable development path. And we need to find the right mixture. The important thing, of course, is we need to look for social hardship, because high inflation, poor people are always affected more hardly by high inflation. And that's something where social policies are needed.
Right, to protect the vulnerable, of course. All right, Professor MATIN QAIM at the University of Bonn, thank you very much for your time and for joining us live at this very early hour to end.
Thank you.